All right, got double the trouble today. We got Clemmy from Resume Restoration and Kat from Relentless
Strength.
That's right. And you know, we had so much fun, but in our last episodes talking about, I call it content, what you guys do, right? So let's just start off. Your company focuses on?
Resumes and outplacement.
One-on-one personal training services.
And that's not what we're going to talk about at all today. Because what I find fascinating about both of you is that you started these companies from scratch. And you guys are, going out there, making a difference, and really giving it a unique type of experience for your clients. And I want to talk about how you got started, because there are a lot of people out there kind of going, I could start a business. It's really simple, this, that, and the other thing. I'm going to ask you guys just a couple of questions so we can share with our audience. Like, what was the number one propeller for you guys to start your own business? Because you guys did have other careers. Why don't you start, Clementine?
So my background's in human resources, and I've been doing outplacement services for 8 or 9 years. And I basically identified a gap in the system in that people were either paying resume writers and they were having really strong content that was displayed in a not so great way, or they were going to Etsy and they were downloading these templates and they were populating them again with kind of weaker content. And so my business partner Erin, we own the company together. Her background is that she's got a degree in English literature. She was formerly a teacher, and then she went into graphic design. And I knew with my background in human resources and her proofreading abilities, understanding of grammar and graphic design, that together we were meeting this gap. And that's how Resume Restoration was born.
Wow. That's fascinating, because that's not what I thought, right? And Katherine, how did you get into it? You got an interesting...
Yeah, I was actually originally in the oil and gas industry, and in 2020 decided to pivot and completely exit. And I was interested in pursuing my personal training certification while I was in oil and gas, and just my plate was simply too full. So when I had a little bit more free time, I decided to go back to school, get my certification, and start helping clients. It was really my friends and family constantly coming back to me for help and advice, and I just decided to take that leap of faith and start my own company.
So it's super easy, right? No problems whatsoever. You just take a course and you're done. You find a good partner who's an English major. And everybody back then used to tell Erin, English major, you're never going to find a job. So she found a partner. But in all seriousness, what was the number one toughest thing? We'll start with you, Kat. What was the number one, humper? It was the big over the hump. What was the number one holy smoker?
For me, it's actually that belief in myself. Sounds really cheesy, but that imposter syndrome of, does anyone believe in me enough to trust me to help them with their health and fitness? And time and time again, I just continually had folks reaching out to me to say, hey, Kat, can you help me? And it's like, absolutely. When I found their genuine interest of wanting to be better, that's really the piece. And then also having a good circle around me and trusting folks to show me the ropes almost in entrepreneurship. So actually one of my clients, I asked her for the best lawyer in town to help me incorporate.
You can say her name.
Did it? Okay, well.
Of course, this is all about...
Yeah, it was my client, Carrie Sharp. And she put me in contact with Miss Lydia Lutwin in Calgary, and hands down one of the best experiences I've had. And just, trying to navigate the entrepreneurial world is so scary and daunting, but having a good, strong foundation in your service agreements, your incorporation, and your accounting, both together just gave me a really strong foundation to trust myself to be able to give the best service to my clients.
Yeah, because you're not an expert in that area. And if you can trust somebody who does it. And how about you, Clemmy?
I think just all the hats you have to wear when you're an entrepreneur, the hats of marketing, of tech, of accounting. We're a little bit different in that we haven't really brought in too many external players, and we're trying to do our best to navigate this world internally. And it's for sure been a huge learning curve for us, but it's been great. It's been super fun at the same time.
So you know what, the obvious answer, or maybe the hinted answer, is, when somebody asks my kids, anyways, who is your biggest influence? I really hope they say, mom and dad and stuff like that. But let's take away family, okay? Because that's the right answer, okay? Biggest influence in your entrepreneurial life up to now?
You can't take away family.
No, that's the answer. They are
My answer
the drivers.
The answer is my dad, 100%.
Okay.
My
Oh,
dad.
sorry, I meant your kids and stuff like that. So your dad. Okay. No, that's game.
Oh yeah, no. So yeah, that's fair. My dad for sure.
I hear he tells good jokes.
He's very funny and he's very driven, and he is everything that I aspire to be as a business owner. And yeah, as a leader of a team, he's incredible. So I definitely.
What's your father's name?
Stephen Hudson, Dr. Stephen Hudson.
So Dr. Stephen Hudson.
He's retired now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the one thing that he told you that resonates every single day?
I don't know if it's so much what he told me. I had the privilege of working with my dad for about 8 years. So he ran the Victoria Fertility Centre, which is a fertility program that was offered out of Victoria, BC. And I worked with him prior to moving to Calgary in 2013. And I had the opportunity to have an office right next to him and to work with him and to watch him and to sit in his office at the end of the day and debrief with the staff and just the culture he created, the culture of quality, of hard work, of dedication, of camaraderie, of passion for what you do and care for those you serve. And yeah, it's definitely shaped my whole career.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So now, you know what? We'll just get him a copy for this, and it's Christmas gift is done. Dad, look at this.
Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Kat.
For me, I mean, it's I don't know. My realm into fitness actually got kickstarted from an old friend, and by old friend I mean ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
So just honest.
Edit. No, I'm just.
I mean, he was, you take lessons from every, friendship relationship, but it was really, showing me the ropes in the gym, having the confidence to lift weights, and to just really putting my own health first. That was, instrumental in getting me to be passionate about this and seeing the value in it. And in terms of entrepreneurship, I mean, it's wild, the relationships that you can build, but really it's been my client, Carrie Sharp. I mean, she was the one that was encouraging me to believe in myself enough and to have that faith that I could pursue anything that I want, and as long as I, pursued it with excellence and something that I really cared about. And that's the piece of entrepreneurship I love. It's mine, it's ownership. So it's my heart and soul is poured into it, and I feel, Clementine, you're probably the same. It's like, it's not just writing resumes and helping cover letters. It's like you're helping clients pivot into a different career, and when you see them succeed, it just ignites something in you, and it just has an amazing fire that it's. I don't think people go into entrepreneurship for money. If that's really the case, I think they fizzle out quite quickly. It's just finding that passion and pursuing it and serving clients.
So one thing that you would tell somebody that kind of goes, maybe has a regular job or something like that, and kind of goes, you know what, I can do what you can do. What is that one piece of advice you would give them if they want to start up a company?
If they wanted to start up I would start off with a side hustle. So proof of concept first, I guess. It's like, don't just go in. If you have something pretty solid, don't just go and quit something that provides you with some stability. I mean, it's risk is important, right? To believe in yourself, but also having that financial piece of having a little bit of security so that you can take those risks. So so I would start off as having it be a side hustle.
Like a beta, a bit of a beta
test, a pilot, and see if it's something you actually enjoy. Because maybe, I mean, there's some people that actually love working out and they do not like training people at all. Like I have friends like that. They're like, my gym is my own time. Don't talk to me. I'm like, they don't want to be educators, and that's completely okay. So I would do proof of concept first.
That's great. Clemmy.
I think just knowing the extra costs that go into it as well. I think one of our team members, we've got a team of 6, and so one of our resume writers, Judy, who's a career coach as well and offers 20 years of recruitment experience. When she does career coaching with people who are wanting to open a company, she'll go through all of the costs and figure out
Yeah.
what's the time investment, what's the cost investment. And I remember when she was walking us through her program, Erin and I looked at each other and we had thought of none of this. We just leapt right in, and there are significant costs, whether it's software, email addresses, equipment that you don't think about that you'll have to assume. And so Proof of Beta, I think, kind of partners with that and understanding what that looks like.
All right, so Clementine, what would you offer?
I think just the additional costs that come into play when you have a new business. I think there are so many costs that we didn't factor in as new business owners, my business partner and I, whether it's tech, whether it's equipment, the amount of time that you invest into your company. I think that was a big investment for us, is understanding that we were really going to invest our time as an initial investment. But yeah, additional costs, and I think that goes in hand with what you were mentioning about the beta project, and that gives you a bit of an identification of what those costs might look like.
So we're gonna do a little fun.
Yeah.
These guys don't know, but on our show, we want people to get to know you guys a little bit, right? And so I'm gonna ask you guys some questions about you, and they're quick snappers.
Sure.
Okay? So I'm gonna start with Clementine. Favorite food?
Popcorn.
Favorite food?
Pizza.
Pizza. And that's what I'm talking about
Let's
right
go,
there.
Italian.
Popcorn on the pizza. Okay. Favorite sports team? Or favorite sport?
Oh, I'm not hugely athletic, like maybe hockey.
Okay.
Hockey.
Hockey. Favorite team?
The Canucks.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, rivalry. Come on, Flames.
The Flames. Okay. Favorite place you visited?
Well, I was born in South Africa, so Cape Town, South Africa will always have my heart.
Prague.
Prague.
Yeah.
I think you told me that.
I know, it's one of the most beautiful
Yeah.
cities I've ever been in.
Place that you would most like to visit that you've never been to?
Maybe Prague. That sounds
Cape
wonderful.
Town.
Oh man, I mean, I'm gonna break the rules. I just really want to go to New Zealand, but my
Oh.
brother lives there, so haven't been able to see him in a while. So I'd like to do that.
Cool.
So, yeah.
And?
Oh, I
Oh, you said Prague.
Yeah.
Prague.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the part of the series that you get to ask me a question, and you get to ask me a question.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm going to answer it, but any question you want to ask.
I think any advice to businesses I think so many businesses, when you grow and you go through huge growth as our company has, at what point do you kind of pause and assess and identify when you should be bringing external resources in? And if you have any thoughts as to, based on your experience.
Yeah, I think that what happens is if you're a solarpreneur, right, so I get asked this quite often, and I always have the same answer. I didn't have it 10 years ago, but it's basically, this is what needs to get done, right? And I have no problem saying that, is that, if you were a ballerina or an ice skater or a football player, the box is really small. That's the stuff that you like to do, right? This is the eat shit box, right? So this whole big box includes accounting, blah, 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 blah. That little box has to be reserved for only you can do it. Like if I leave my company, nobody else can do that.
Yes.
The rest of the stuff, when you get big enough, you need to delegate out. And you mentioned Lydia. Like at first you got to write your own contract, maybe, or something to do with legal. Accounting, you got to do your own Simply Accounting or something like that. But as soon as you get big enough, get that out of your box.
Yes.
And I think that's what it is. It all comes down to what your nugget is. Cover your nugget and then delegate. That means pay somebody else to do it. I think that's what it comes down to. It's always a number,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So,
It's good advice.
yeah.
Any advice for solopreneurs, like you said, for Calgary?
Any city is you got to get a mirror, right? And that mirror, you put it in front of you, and anything that goes wrong is your fault. Period. You have nobody to blame. You can't be a whiner. You can't, it doesn't mean you can't yell and scream, but nobody gives a shit anyways. And it's your destiny. And the best advice I can give, you said Calgary, it might just because, oil and gas got beat up a little bit, but, is basically understand that you're a prize fighter in the ring and the bell is just rung. You're done. It's you with or against the world. And the fans behind you, when you're winning, they cheer you. When they don't, they leave, right? So you have to be really prepared to be able to handle those two boxes and really understand that what your outcome needs to be. And if your outcome needs to be that I need to make $100,000 or 200 or 5 million, and you're motivated by money, your chances are you're not going to probably make it, right? there has to be that extra drive to say, I want to change people's lives. That's why I love talking to you guys, right? Like you actually change energy in the people and you actually kind of motivate them to get their next step. So that's kind of my advice for anybody really, but in Calgary where it's been, Alberta's been a little bit down, but it's coming back, right?
It's coming back. We're back.
So this was amazing. This is for all their entrepreneur friends. So thanks again. And they can find you at
relentlessstrength.ca or emailing me at hello@relentlessstrength.ca.
all right, Clemmy, where do they find you and Erin?
resumerestoration.ca, info@resumerestoration.ca, and at Instagram @resumerestoration.
All right, on. We'll be back next time. See you guys.
Thanks.
Bye.